Hey, and welcome to another episode of Colonial Gaming's Outlaw Ranch in Planet Coaster. Today I'm going to be building my second coaster. I know I still need to finish the main entrance of the park and kind of the scenery in between the Mustang and this new roller coaster, which we kind of address. We address a little bit of it. In this episode we'll get the new coaster laid out. As you'll see, it is a inverted roller coaster. And so we'll get the layout of this one done, and we'll get the terrain kind of mapped out for this roller coaster. There's probably a little bit of touch up I want to do at the end of this. You'll see kind of a few areas that look a little unnatural almost, but we'll address those probably in the next episode. But for now, as you can see, this is a regular inverted coaster. It's going to have a big loop after its first drop, and then it'll have a few other looping elements such as the Cobra roll, and I'll also put a corkscrew in it. Takes me a little bit to figure out where I wanted certain elements and kind of what elements I wanted in this coaster. There wasn't really a game plan that I had when I was going into it, so it was kind of just a free form. Wherever the coaster kind of took me, I kind of went with that feel. You can see a few times in here I'm testing the different kind of stats of the coaster, make sure that it's not too aggressive, make sure that it's not, going to kill the riders if they were to actually ride it. I do like having that more realistic kind of coaster in my game rather than something that probably could never exist due to too much forces applied to someone's body. So you can see here I put the corkscrew going through the loop, which is, I think, actually a kind of cool ending part. And then I believe from here we just go into a quick kind of S-bend into a brake run and then back into the station. And as you can see here, this is me messing around with a few different things, kind of going where the coaster's taking me. And one thing you may notice is on most of my coasters, I kind of took this from watching Silver Rat videos and Delady Signer videos, is that you kind of build the coaster the way you want it and then terraform after. So you might have some slight terraforming beforehand that you kind of want to follow, but make it a very basic terraforming and then go back and do your terraforming adjustments afterward, because it kind of makes it fit a little bit more, and you can also make the terrain fit with the coaster, making it look like the coaster fits with the terrain. You'll see a few spots on here that I do that, where on the Cobra roll especially, there's going to be a large kind of rock face area, and in that roll there's going to be areas that are terraformed up more and kind of come out straight in between the track, and it kind of makes it look like someone went in and perfectly designed the track to fit around that rock face. So you'll see here as I'm doing the terrain what I'm talking about. You kind of just build it up where it looks like the coaster may have been built to show off certain features. And here's that rock face that I was talking about. Alright, and I apologize for the camera moving around so much. Sometimes it's really hard to get the angle that you want to work on something with, just especially with the terrain tool, that you have to be able to see the faces that you want to work on. So there's a lot of moving back and forth, and when it gets sped up, it tends to fly around a bit. I'm working on it. I'm trying not to do it as much. I'm trying to be a little bit more conscious of it as I'm building, and I'm trying to keep it to a minimum. I think that's also why I've taken a break from working on like the entrance building and working on other station buildings at the moment, is because it tends to be a lot of camera movement, and I'm trying to find a way to do that where it's not going to be as kind of jittery when I speed it up. I may end up actually just doing those sections as a live portion, and then maybe do like a time lapse for this build, like do the full time lapse of everything so people can see it from start to finish, and then do a live portion for people that want to actually see the building process. I'm not the best at building, as I've said in multiple videos. I'm getting there. I'm trying to like base it off of actual buildings, or like have a picture up that I'm using for reference, but it does take quite a bit in this game to build a really detailed building, so I haven't quite gotten there yet on it. So as you can see here, I've pretty much finished the layout of the coaster, and I'm changing the colors to kind of fit that Western outlaw kind of theme. And I haven't named this coaster yet. I'm probably going to name it something like the Bandit, or something along that kind of feel. And then for this section of the queue, I'm actually going to put it through the town, so you'll actually enter in one of the buildings and then walk up the queue. So it's going to be like kind of walking through like a bar saloon kind of thing, and then going out the back door, kind of like a bandit, up into the station, and then from there you'll go onto the ride. So this is a good camera angle where you can see that rock wall that I was talking about. And I do actually go back and touch that up a little bit more. And then another feature which I thought would be really nice, and I haven't put the fountains in it yet, but is a pond of some kind at the bottom of this inversion. And here I'm just testing the different water types, trying to figure out which one will work the best with this feel. And I will get a POV of this probably in the next video when I get the scenery put down. But for now, I'll let you enjoy watching the rest of this video and pretty much finishing out the time lapse. And then after that, I will be signing off for the day.